What is up? What is up, guys? How are you guys?
Yeah, it's time. It's time. We're doing good. I'm not at my home. I'm at an undisclosed location.
Oh,
somewhere.
No. I'm in Kuala Lumpur for a PUBG.
okay. Oh, hey, nice.
Yeah.
This side of the world.
Yeah,
it sounds like a country, Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah, it's
You would know.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
I've heard you're a good source on these things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Familiar. All right.
I've been there for years.
Well, yeah, we have Fayde today, ladies and gentlemen. Fayde from Wolves Esports, one of the legends here in Southeast Asia as well, making a name for himself this year. We're probably going to touch upon that eventually, but hey, why don't we start somewhere earlier? Just, introduce yourself, man. Who are you? What are you doing here?
I'm a coach for a VALORANT team named Wolves Esports. My name is Fayde. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice.
Thanks for having me today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I joined your places.
Well, that's an intro.
A long
yeah.
time.
It's been a long time. Like who would you say like is the most who's the first guy on the screen that you've met when you entered VALORANT Esports, Fayde? Or maybe even before. Me? Really?
You.
Oh shit. Okay.
Watching streams.
I thought you set that up on purpose, Sleepy.
No. I actually was curious because I didn't know like who you would have interacted with before, right? Like I thought maybe Quack as a caster, but I guess it makes sense if like I'm the first one you probably know from esports or specifically VALORANT because like that was the 2021 days, streaming.
Yeah, I think when I joined, you were already like competing when I joined VALORANT.
Right.
So there's that.
Okay. So, let's get into it then. Like, when did you start with VALORANT? And maybe before that, like, what were you mainly doing? Were you already familiar with esports? Were you already involved? That kind of stuff?
I think before VALORANT, it's mostly CSGO. Just trying to make it out there, but it was so difficult in CSGO, and VALORANT came out. So a good opportunity, and I really wanted to compete in VALORANT as a player. But because of my wrist injury, so I was taking a break to recover. But while I was recovering, I saw like Team SMG. They had like an opening and looking for coach. So I kind of recommended myself to ZSB and see if they needed help with that. Since I've been working as an IGR and a captain as well. So I think the transition from being a player captain to a coach shouldn't be that hard. And I guess that became pretty natural when I became the coach.
Okay.
Nice.
So I actually have no idea that that's how that started. It's the DM to SSB.
Yeah.
Was that 2021? Is that right?
2020, end of 2020.
Oh, end of 2020.
That was due during COVID, I think.
During COVID. Makes sense. So that was like your first foray into coaching and everything. What were the early days like for you? Was it kind of it shaky? Was it kind of crazy, or was it pretty fun?
I think back then when VALORANT just started as a competitive game, I think it's kind of messy. Like it's all the duelist meta and stuff. Yeah. Whoever has the better aim, you kind of win. And I'm lucky to have players like Egoist, Lexi, and at that time like ZSB was also like very sharp when it comes to firepower. Like the core three players I have, they kind of carry me. Like the first few tournaments, we just won everything.
We'll forget about JD Faker. He doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Who cares about that, dude, man?
Come on. Job is a really, really good player, okay? He's very stable. He kept the players in check. He's older than me. He's so old, man. Holy shit.
Nice jab there. I like that.
I missed him, man. When he left Preference, I was like, I tried to catch up with him. But he's done with esports, I think.
Yeah. It's probably done. Team SMG. Like, so who was in that roster when you first joined the team? So it was just Egoist, JD Faker, obviously, and then Lexi. Was Jing there, or were you there before Jing?
Fall. I was there before.
Fall. Right.
Yes. I asked Jing to join us.
I see. Okay.
So I reached out to Jing because they were smashing us, and I didn't like losing, so I wanted to like join their best player. So I reached out to Jing, and also Jing didn't want to come alone. He wanted to only play with his friends back then. So he had like a close group of friends back then.
I see.
They were playing together. So I had to like bring another guy along, and somehow I needed another player as well, like a sentinel player. So it was like a perfect combo. So I just brought them over.
I see. I have a question because I remember perfectly. So these were the days when the Valorant leaderboard was first introduced, and you know there were those like seasonal rankings, and I remember there was this first iteration of the number one player on the leaderboard, and this random ass RR Jing showed up. Was this one of the reasons why you wanted him to join you, or was that like after, or was that like before you even considered like having this player on?
I think when I joined SMG, I kind of knew Jing because they always hang out in the group, like SMG and RR. These two group of players, they always hang out and play together. So we spend a lot of time in the TeamSpeak together. But at that time, Jing doesn't even have a mic. This guy, when he plays rank, he only spams like in-game commands. Like if you talk to him, you spam like agent yes, no, going C, going A. He can't talk. He just talk to you. And when he joins the team, he doesn't even talk. He has it muted all the time. So there's like one day, there's a tournament, he had to get a mic, I think. And that's where people started knowing him and interacting with him, meeting him in LAN because of like LAN tournaments in Singapore. Yeah, after that, I saw his performance and I was like, oh, this is a very, very good player, a very good duelist. At that time, his race is just busted, man. The old race is crazy.
Yes, the two nades and everything, and even the satchel specifically. Yeah. Like
he has this trademark satchel on split from A heaven to elbow. I was like, holy shit! When he did it against my team, I'm like, I need this guy on my team. This guy like all the way up, and then land on top of you. You can't even shoot him, man.
Yeah. Those were the days. Holy.
I miss those satchels. I'm not gonna lie. Watching Jing and Bunny. I mean, like Jing and Bunny are the whole reason satchels got nerfed. Like those two players just were so much better than everybody else with it.
And Ray 4C, I blame this person as well. They make these agents look overtuned, but when I play it looks perfectly balanced to me.
Right. Okay. So I think going down the list, like, could you tell us a bit about how the experience was like, since SMG was like your first stint as like a proper professional coach, right? Like, how did that go, and what made you push through as like a coach and, you know, continue on this journey, becoming a professional coach for more teams? I don't even know if I can count how many teams you've been on, Hoc, for the past like 5 years now.
5 to 6, I guess.
5-6 years.
I think when I first started, I consulted Mushi a lot from Dota.
Oh.
So he was giving me some guidance. So I was like reaching out to different ex-pro players and get them to share their experience with me, like how to handle a team. Because although I was a captain and IGL, when I transitioned to becoming a coach, I had to you have to make sure the team doesn't explode, right? You have to maintain good chemistry and stuff. There's so many stuff you have to pay attention. Now that I'm not playing, I have to make sure that they are doing their stuff, keep them in check, their form, and that they're most important that they're playing together, right? As a coach, that's the main thing you want to do when you go into a team. So yeah, the main challenge are that trying to figure out how to become a good coach. So I did get a lot of inspiration from traditional sports like football. I try to watch many documentaries and about basketball, football, and try and get ideas on how to behave as a coach and try to implement them into my own style of coaching. So yeah.
Nice. What would you say were like some of the biggest lessons you took away from traditional sports that you like? Any big ones that stand out to you?
You really have to stand your ground when it comes to certain decision making and not give players too many room to argue with you. You can argue if it's reasonable, you can make adjustment, right? But you always have to stand your ground because you're the coach. The team should be playing your way, not their way. If they're gonna play their way, then there's no reason for you to be in the team.
Nice.
I mean, that's kind of interesting to me, honestly, because I guess there is a bit of a spectrum or scale on which you stand between, like, you know, you have to stand your ground versus like you listening to the team more. And because for me personally, like the approach that I like to take is always lead with the players, as in meaning I let the players like show me, or, you know, kind of form that structure that they want to play in, and then I come in as like a guide, you know, like to show them like where we can optimize. And so it is interesting that you're taking this stance of like being a bit more of a dictator, I would say. I mean, probably not a dictator, but more like, yeah, you just...
There's room for discussion, okay?
Yes, there's room for discussion, for sure. I'm not saying you're a dictator, Fayde, don't worry.
I'm not.
But
I'm definitely not.
Definitely not. Yeah, but yeah, it is interesting to see like all these different approaches, because we've always discussed this. Like coaches are just hard to come by, like in this part of the world. So I'm guessing this could also lead to this question for you, Fayde, just to go on a tangent a little bit. Like, do you think like nowadays there's more options for orgs to choose a coach from? Like, is it a bigger pool nowadays than before, you think?
I think the pool is definitely bigger because many ex-pros retired, but one of the problems is they don't really have like a good leadership skill when it comes to being a coach. Like what I meant, like holding my stance, like if you're too soft, you're not gonna be able to lead the team.
For sure.
So if they don't listen to you, then there's no reason for you to be there. I think right now we have more options. Like many people, like when they decided they want to start young as a coach, right? I've seen people like 22, 23, and they're already a coach. I'm like, wow, okay. People they don't even want to become a player. I'm like, okay, that's fine, because some people they have great minds for the game, but they're not good at playing. But their ideas are really, really good. So yeah, but you really need experience to, like, if you should start off as an assistant, like learn from someone. You always need to start from a more passive role and slowly move forward and becoming a head coach. But I think the head coach role right now is still pretty. It's not enough. I feel like we need more head coaches in the scene. Like if you let's say you really want a head coach right now, like where did you look for this head coach, and what options do you have? You don't really have much options, and language barrier is a problem as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
we're just talking about it.
We were just talking about it before the show. I'm not going to name names, but
we were. Yeah, it is unfortunate though. Like with all these new regions coming up, like the kids of esports, like I don't know how else to frame it, but there are regions that came into esports a bit later than others, right? So, and unfortunately, the languages are different for that. Whereas the more experienced ex-pros, the more experienced people within esports come from the regions that don't speak their language. So it is a bit tough on some. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah.
Hey guys, I have breaking news dropped just now.
Okay.
That's the first.
What is this?
Okay.
Oh shoot.
Oh
no way, dude!
I knew this was coming. Actually, I knew this was coming.
I caught news of this 2 days ago. I was shocked.
They gave him the Sentinel's chair almost. Like what?
Yeah. Okay. This is so on topic. Like we were just talking about coaches, and now this news dropped. Okay. Well,
yeah.
What do we think about this, guys? I am a little shocked knowing that Ewok has been there since the start, and this year has been their most successful year yet.
He had a good year. Like it's the best achievement they had so far, right? I hope he's getting poached by other bigger orgs in NA or something, because he's from South Africa, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he shouldn't have issue because he can speak English. Like, and those regions are looking for head coaches as well.
Yeah.
I hope he managed to land offer somewhere else.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I know what happened here, sort of, like at least somewhat. But I will say, like, I think it's going to be tough for RRQ going forward. Like, just no matter whose decision this was, right? Like, just put that aside, because you saw nothing but improvement over the last couple of years, right, with this team. And obviously, they made some big pickups and all this other stuff, but on top of it, you know, this is a team that everybody always talked about as being really well coached. They have really good ideas, good antes, all that stuff. So I think whatever Ewok decides to do, whatever's going on there, I think if a team were to pick him up, I think they'd be finding a good coach. RQ, hopefully they can land on their feet with everything, because that's, it was always on the upward trend, it seemed. So
yeah, kind of sounds like you know him a little bit more than you let on Clinton.
Yep.
It's Clinton.
I actually don't know. It is Clinton.
I'm not gonna say that.
I think. Well, I mean, the team, it kind of feels as though they always just need a little bit more time or experience. But apart from that, I don't know when this episode's going to go out, but I just want to say, I think I'm going to look forward to seeing Ewok at Ascension. Honestly, he's been doing great with the interview content pieces. It's been fun to listen to him all throughout.
Casting?
It's like on a panel interview. He's a talent, right?
Content piece.
I haven't been.
He's talent.
Was it Ascension?
Ascension, yeah.
He did it last year too.
Yeah, Ascension.
You're not suggesting you step down from coaching now, are you, Quack? Just because you want to see him on broadcast?
I honestly don't know anything. I'm just saying he's nice to talk to.
He's a great guy.
Very personable on camera as well. So
good decision. If he steps down, it's a good decision. He doesn't want the white hair.
One less opponent for.
No. It's good for his mental health.
Yeah, for sure.
Less stress.
Okay, I know we're going on a tangent here.
Legit.
Thanks for the breaking news, Juan. This is very on point.
Yep.
Holy crap.
But what we were just talking about it. How does RQ look for a replacement now? Like who can even fill that gap, you think, Fayde?
Just promote Warbirds.
Yeah, I mean Warbirds is there for sure.
Yeah.
But is that enough?
I mean, Frost and Jovi are open
Frost.
too.
Right.
They can become the NA trio.
Right.
That
is true.
Good.
I don't know if Frost can handle another year at Pacific, man. He might be fine.
We need for the film, man.
I know.
Promise.
Oh, he's so fun.
RQ against Korean teams, it would be even better.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
And they have beaten them already. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Okay, back to Fayde and your story. So time at SMG, I'm assuming it was great because first stint, maybe that was like your first foray into the coaching at VALORANT journey. And there is this one line item that Joandy has stated, like I can't remember, but I think I remember scrimming you once. And I remember specifically, I was like annoyed a little bit because you, at that moment, it was Haven on A. You created a set piece where you threw a freaking Sage slow onto the back of A side. And then you entered with like a Phoenix Flash or whatever. And I was like, I remember thinking to myself, like, this dude's a nerd. I don't like him.
That's the thing with me. I like to
lineup Larry.
Lineup and stuff. Yes, I am a lineup Larry.
Yeah.
Yes, I would call myself the best flasher in Southeast Asia. Like my stats, if I go to a tournament, I have the most enemy flash. So I like to find lineups of flash. I think flash itself as a utility, it brings a lot of value to the team. Basically secures a couple of kills if you do it well. That's why when KO came out, I was very happy, but I couldn't find a good kill later back. So I was kind of annoyed.
That stuff, yes. No, but yeah, this is what I was like trying to say, right? Like from that day onwards, I knew this guy is a nerd and he's gonna do well as a tactical coach specifically. Because I remember just being annoyed because what the hell is this guy doing, man? Because back then there weren't many coaches at all, period, right? And now this guy suddenly comes up with like all these set plays, set pieces, lineups, and that was just annoying to play against back then in 2021 specifically. So that's how I knew, like, oh, you're gonna be fun, man. Yeah.
We finish meta soon before the nerfs.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh. Yes. we can touch upon that later. That's a lot. That's a lot of things to talk about. But yeah, what was after SMG, man?
After SMG, it was like, no, it was secret immediately. They got poached over to secret, right? After champs, Yam called me and said they needed a coach. But I was already in Boom at the time. I wasn't
remember
signed.
that.
That's the thing. I wasn't signed to Boom, but they announced me for some reason. I was still in the middle of a negotiation with them. Like I haven't signed anything, right? I was in a trial. Then they were like, okay, let's can you join us? I'm like, okay, I'm down. I wanted to like have a laid back year, right, after SMG. So I was like, yeah, I can help you out, but I want to chill a bit for 2022. And I was just helping him with a couple of tournaments. And then one day Secret came. They were like, hi, we need a head coach. Like, Gibo is gone. Like, we need someone to take over the head coach role. I'm like, sure. Okay, then that thing happened. Like, they announced me for a week, and then they thanked me a week later.
The esports.
that was like me running my op. I have a Boom Esports in my VR. Thanks to that.
You're collecting the badges like a Pokemon.
Yeah. The best ops in SEA. Boom was fun.
Nice.
My time was in Boom was pretty fun. It was short, but it was very fun. Working with the Indonesians, they are very passionate, and they were, when they screamed, they were so happy for some reason. So I enjoyed my time there.
Mm.
And then so Secret, that must have still been like Dubstep, Jesse, Borkum.
Yes, welcome.
Old school.
Was Wick still on that team?
Oh, Jesus.
Spitz, Dispenser, and Jeremy.
Dispenser.
When I went in, we had
Even Jeremy was there.
Oh, but Jeremy was still a six player?
At the time, Jeremy was supposed to replace Witz, but I was like, I need Witz. Witz is cracked. Why am I replacing it? So I was telling him, give me some time to deal with the problems that they had. So throughout the entire year, my problem was to find a slot for Jeremy to play as the main five. Because Jeremy, he was up and coming talent in Philippines. He was doing really well in scrims, but I think the inexperience kind of cost him some performance issues. So he didn't have the best debut in 2022, but he did so good in Pacific the following year in franchise. I was very, very happy for him. So yeah, 6-man roster. I think Secret was the first one to do it, and then many people kind of doubted us for it. But back then, I think it made sense because every player had like such small agent pool. I needed different players on different agent, and that allowed me to run like very specific comps, like even like unique comps, like the one-off comps on certain maps. I can manage to do it because I have a 6-man that always prepare for it. So yeah, that was really fun. Secret was fun. Secret was a good year. A good year with many regrets. Like we could have qualified to 2 international events, Masters and Champs, but we narrowly missed out on both. Like we got 3rd place and 4th place.
Yep. I remember.
That year.
Yeah, that was a tough year. That was first
that year.
Yeah.
I still remember.
Meanwhile, Sleepy's like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. 2022 was great.
No, I mean, okay. Well, to be fair, this was like what, 2023? 22. Well, I wasn't even involved with any teams yet.
Okay.
In 2022, yeah. 2022, I just joined Paper X in the offseason. So I wasn't I wasn't happy for his downfall yet. But yeah, it was Secret. I just think Secret always had that potential, you know, like
you always one step
especially
away.
with their correct, always one step away. Even like the first qualification they had for an international, was it Berlin? But that was
for Secret?
The visa issue.
Yeah, for Secret. No, it was after
Champs.
Champs, yeah.
Which went absolutely crazy during that. He was so good.
Yes. Even W as
really
well,
good
right?
Yeah.
W and
Those two were
shit,
like
that was just it was just one of those teams and showings that kind of gave us hope as Southeast Asians. You know, like
I think I cast almost every one of their games
have
at
like
Champs,
some
if I remember right.
Right. There you
They
go.
put us on the map.
It was always super fun.
Put C on the map.
Yep.
Definitely.
The pioneers.
Definitely.
They were.
Yep.
I was very happy when I got the job. I'm like, holy shit, I got the best team in SCA.
Yeah, that's
and then the strategy, all the disaster stuff happened in Split 1, where we have like all the internet issues. We would like legit like have like high loss, disconnect every round. And then back then challenges were online, right? So we just kept disconnecting every round, and then we couldn't play at all. And we also played like a couple challenges back from home. We wouldn't even do that boot camp. And then when we went to the boot camp, we just started winning. But then it was too late. Then back after stage 2, I think stage 2 we bounced back and we won in Challengers Philippines. That's when we went to see qualifiers for champs. I mean Masters. I think it was Copenhagen. Yeah, Copenhagen.
Right.
We won map 1 against Cercia. It was in dominating fashion. And then we somehow, I think we wanted to close it out too badly and we started choking map 2 and 3. Players weren't reacting anymore and stuff. It was very, very sad. I was so depressed when we lost. I'm like, holy shit. No way we just lost that.
You can like remember
we had
everything. That's crazy.
That's one of the loss. That's one of the loss that I remember the most. But the one that I cared the most, I think, where the timeline changed in Valorant is the one I lost to Paper X. I could have went Iceland as well.
Yeah.
So there's so many almost for me.
Right.
When it started. That's why when I made Toronto, I was like, holy shit, it's real.
Yeah.
Not unreal.
That's like a three-year long wait for you.
Yeah, like, finally it's my turn.
Finally,
I'm gonna make good use of it.
You did.
And you did.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'm very happy I did.
Yeah.
I gave it my all, man. I had like sleepless nights. I legit died every other match.
That's every coach, dude. Like you guys all like. I come to these events and I just like want to talk to you guys and see you, and I barely can because you're all just like locked away in your dungeons. Just mod dungeoning.
What dungeons, bro?
I barely could see. Like I finally got to meet you for the first time there. And I was like, and then we talked a little bit, and then I'm like looking around for Ewok. He's nowhere to be found because he's in the VOD dungeon, and like where's the?
They'll always show up to like ready rooms looking like a zombie and stuff.
Yeah, I saw you and Alex because like you guys would actually go to breakfast or like you were at the venue sometimes, and
it was fun.
Nice. Fun.
That was fun.
But my time, I think my prep work is way easier this year compared to my previous years because I have Ominous and Mark helping me out this time, and because they're working remotely, so it was a lot easier for me. Like I didn't have to like stay up all night anymore.
Right, because you can kind of split the work because of the time zone differences. Yeah. Oh, that's smart.
Ominous contribution is crazy. Like the stuff he provides it saved me a lot. Like it saved me a lot of like stuff that I didn't have to do like extra work. So we can just pinpoint what we need to do, what we need to prep. So when we do the VOD review and do the notes, it's very, very simple.
Yeah, wow, he's great. And he's always been like a guy who will talk with me behind the scenes, like in DMs and stuff. And like I can ask him anything, and he'll give me honest opinions and like kind of back it up with data. And so he's such a good guy. Like I'm really happy.
Yeah,
he's a humble guy now. Right now he's humble. He used to be
Very nice.
What? Okay. Really?
Yeah. Remember, he was toxic then when he was I think he learned from it. He's a good boy now.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Yeah, well, I mean,
we all learn.
Yeah, these days we've been seeing a lot of him sharing just knowledge in general publicly as well for everyone to use, which is great. So that's like one of the rare things I think in Valorant. Everyone seems to be like super secrecy. Secrecy. I don't know what the word is. Anyway, thanks, Ominous. I think you have done a great deed for Valorant here in Southeast Asia and also in China now with Wolves. So that's cool. Speaking of China, how did that first start, man? Like how did you first started even thinking about China, and was it an easy transition for you? I mean, I assume you speak Chinese, right?
My main language. Chinese is my main language.
Main language. Okay.
I didn't want to go to China at first. What I wanted was, I didn't really had an option after Secret dropped me because they dropped me so late into the season. Like everyone already had a head coach when they dropped me. So I was like, oh shit, what are my options? And Super reached out to me because he needed a coach for his team. He didn't have a coach back then. And I've been chatting with him for some time, even before I got dropped, because he was asking for tips and stuff. So I was like just trying to help him on the side. Right? And then he saw me looking for a team. So he just reached out to me, asked me to help him out in the Hong Kong, Taiwan challenges. So I agreed to it because he was a nice kid. And why not? Just try and work it out, right? It's a different region, and it's a region that I can comes in, no issue with language. So I went over, joined him in Griffin, and then we caught news of China releasing Valorant soon. So we just stick through Griffin, and then we went to JJH. Because JJH was the team that reached out to Griffin to form a collaboration. Like they want to work with Griffin to secure like a spot in the franchise. So I agreed to that as well. So we all of us transferred to JJH, and then we started competing in the China tournaments. I think back then China still hasn't launched VALORANT, but they were like there were multiple tournaments from the official organizers. So everyone played in those tournaments. I think it was Evo series or something. Yeah, I just kept playing, and I saw many talented players from China, and I was like, damn, this region is fun, and I want to be in it. And China or Pacific, I'll be in any of it. Like both are fine to me. So whatever comes first, I'll just go with it. Like that year, no teams of Pacific came back to me, so I just stick with the China teams. And then we all went to NIP together. We didn't really go together. Like NIP reached out to me because the manager from NIP was from JJH. So when he got through to NIP, he asked me to form a roster. That's when I reached out to Enter to get Spring and Aaron as the first two signings. And then I also signed like a couple of Singapore players like Bryce, JH, and also one more. Who was the last guy? I don't remember who's the last guy. Was it YR Select? I think it was YR Select from Griffin, because I needed a Sentinel player, so I brought him over. So yeah, that NIP squad was the first China team I'm officially in that's trying to compete in Ascension. We didn't really want to compete in Ascension, we wanted to compete for the franchise slot. But when NIP didn't get a franchise slot, we had to compete in Ascension. So that's where first official tournament started in China.
Right. So you've been with CUFAT for quite a while then.
This picture. This was on my birthday.
January 29th, 2023. Wow. Yes.
Look at that. Wow. That's awesome.
Almost 3 years. Look at him. His hair is so different.
His hair is really different.
He has a black hair now.
You both look different here.
Yeah, I'm also fat here.
Okay.
So you've been with CUFAT for a while then. What's he like? Like, what was he like? Obviously now we got to see him in Toronto, and he's kind of, everybody talks about him now. But back then, was he kind of the same guy? Has he changed, matured? I think a lot of people would like to know more about how he became who he is now, like how he became this iconic player in VALORANT.
He has always been very passionate about the game and always wanted to make it out there. That's why what you guys saw in Toronto is exactly how he is in private. He's always like the type that likes to grind, likes to like be very cheerful and support the teammates and stuff. Yeah, he wasn't like really putting an act on at Toronto. That's just how he is. He's just raised like that. He wants to like be happy, like do what he loves, and then put all his effort into it.
Nice. Do you have any good stories about him? Like, do you have like a good like story that maybe people...
Stories about CUFAT?
Yeah. You got any good juicy ones?
Juicy ones. Juicy ones usually can't be shared in public.
Okay. Well, something can be shared that's maybe funny. That's funny or embarrassing or something.
I think this guy cries a lot to me, like in private, even until now.
Cries
because
wow.
Players like this, right? They have like so much pressure on their shoulder. They put a lot of pressure onto themselves. They don't really know how to like vent out all these frustrations and emotions. So I always tend to be there for him. He always called me master, and he like to address himself as my apprentice. So it's like a master.
That is so
okay.
So it's like we have like good connection there.
I see. That's cute.
Yeah,
it's like martial arts.
Yeah, even if I'm not in Esports anymore, these are people I will always talk to. Like we still could keep a healthy relationship.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that.
And what about like because you kind of had that leap from basically SCA to China. Is there any difference between coaching the two regions?
Very interesting
players there.
China in overall, they are more hardworking and they are willing to grind. Southeast Asia, I put them through 4 hours and they start whining.
Ooh.
Totally agreed, brother.
I want to play rank.
Oh shit! Wait, ranked is the thing that they actually want.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You want to make it out there, you better put in the hours.
Yep. For sure. So you're saying
They got those
they're
scrims
more
going.
able to stick to like your regimes and like, you know, the types of practice that you put them into. Like they're not as whiny as like maybe some of the other players or
They wouldn't
teams.
whine.
Mhm.
They wouldn't really whine, like unless they are really, really tired. I
Yeah.
would like spot it myself and I'll give them enough rest. So we try to have like a good balance between rest and practice right now. Back then, all the China teams, they used to do like 7 to 8
Right.
scrims a day, 4 in the afternoon, 4 at night,
Wow.
right?
That's
And
crazy.
that's crazy. Man.
Yeah.
It's too tiring. I don't think that's viable in
Yeah.
a game like Valorant. You're just gonna do like stupid stuff in the scrims.
Mhm.
It's not efficient. Might as well just rest. So I think some teams still do it. I know some teams still do it. But my team, no, we tend to like finish like 1-7 or 1-8. Unless I really need the reps in, then I'll pull the
Right.
4+4 things. But that's a very special
I see.
occasion. I'll still do that. And the usual routine, we no longer do that.
Okay.
As
So
it's too
you're
important.
saying you used to do that like at the start? NIP.
Yes,
Okay.
NIP, yes. Because we needed to
Right.
get the reps in. Like,
Yes.
because the region is very young. It's a new region. And there are many, many new players that just transitioned over
Mhm.
from Counter-Strike, PUBG, Overwatch. So the best way to improve is just by playing the game. There's no other way. Like, and you need to keep them in the team environment and not just rank. If they just play rank, it's just gonna be Southeast Asia all over again, like
Yes.
all the individual plays. Although they somehow went their direction still, but some of the players, they understood how to play better as a team right off the bat when the game launched, like some of the better players. So they had a head start over the others,
Yeah.
like EDG. They were in the scene for quite some time. They already knew how to play as a team. They were ranking teams in
Yeah.
Southeast Asia when the game wasn't even launched in China. So all these teams that have this kind of like advantage at the start, they're just gonna like do well in
Right.
China.
So would you say the teams have kind of caught up with this mindset yet? You know, because we're in like what 2 years in for VCT China, and yet you know we're still seeing a bit of a gap between like the top 2-3 teams and the rest within the region. So what do you think is like the issue right now for these teams?
I think we have a few good teams, but then the bottom ones are not consistent enough to produce good results if they ever make it out there. Like, I think the coaches we have right now in the region, some of them are not good enough. That's why they are getting changed this year. Coaching stuff is so important. Like, we really want like good coach to lead the team. Like, they don't want just someone to just sit there and just go through the tactics and stuff. We really need someone to enforce the stuff, like we mentioned earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think this region, China this year, apart from EDG, I think XLG did okay as well for a team that came out from expansion. What Hoya did with the squad was really, really impressive, because not just that, they went through so much roster changes and they still somehow managed to qualify and do well in regionally and internationally. Can't believe they are the best performing team in champs, but it is what it is. Result-wise, we definitely regressed this year in champs. But I think overall, this year is a improvement for China, because EDG and us, we did well the first 2 masters. But champs is just truly unfortunate. But I think next year in Shanghai, China will be very, very strong.
What about like BLG and Vile and that, like, what happened there? Like, what do you think about him as a coach? He's looking for a team now. Like, what are your thoughts on that whole thing?
I think what happened, between my own opinion, is like, I think they are not equipped to play against national teams because of the way they play the game. It's very structured, and you don't want to play too structured against like international teams. It's so easy to counter against this kind of play style. That's why they always get punished when it goes to international. That's why I think the only time they did well in international was against NRG and some teams back a couple of years ago, because they were so fresh. Nobody knew how they play. Now that no matter what kind of underdog you are, you go into the tournament, the enemy is going to study you for sure. There's no such thing as, oh, nobody cares about you. They don't know how you play the game. No such thing, man.
Gotcha.
I think problem between Bill and BLG must been that. That's why they decided to go other way and look for another coach this year.
All right, so let's talk about Wolves now, Fayde. So obviously, Wolves made their mark this year. A year full of surprise, but I think Wolves and their history, I think this is one of the highlights for sure so far. So I wanted to kind of just get some thoughts from you in terms of like what you did, maybe that's different from the way you've done things before, and how you think you got the boys to qualify to Toronto and did so well there, and maybe any reflections or thoughts about this achievement you've got.
I think the biggest change we had coming from kickoff, we had a very disappointing kickoff, right? And one of the main problem why we did so bad is because they didn't really follow the plan through. Like while we had practice and stuff, and when we went on stage, they didn't really execute it well. And it was very disappointing how kickoff went. So when we went back to holiday for Chinese New Year, and when we came back to practice stage 1, we just wanted to make sure everyone like do the right thing, right? Like do what we agree as a team, how we plan and execute the stuff. And I think split 1 was Teho meta. No, it wasn't Teho meta. Teho was kickoff, right? Split 1, it was like a double controller meta. Yeah. I think somehow it kind of fit our team, our play style, because we just swapped duelists between Spring and Juicy back then. And Juicy, naturally, he's a duelist player, right?
Yes.
It's easy for him to pick up. And Spring, he's always wanted to play controller, actually, not really duelist. So I think it was a good swap when we did that. So he kind of went our way with how we played the game. Yeah, so going into qualification match and in Toronto, I think the biggest thing that I'll have to credit my players is that they listen to me and Silfat. Like, you just have to listen sometimes and results will come your way because we know what we're doing, like, and we believe we're doing the right thing. So don't add too much ideas into the game plan and don't do too much individual stuff that's out of the plan. And you'll be fine because we legit went through all the stuff and we know what can help us achieve the victory. So yeah, I think that's the biggest turning point. Our players' execution was on point. They followed through and we just started winning. Although we had a very disappointing end to split 1. Like we lost to XLG and BLG in Beijing. Yeah, that Beijing was like a wake-up call for them because they qualified and then they kind of felt too happy about it, and then they kind of like committed the same mistake again. And then that was like a reminder that we had to like really follow through what we did, like just stick through. And then when we went to Toronto, our goal is just to murder all these teams in international. Before we bought that flight, we had a meeting in the boot camp. We just want to tell them like, we haven't played the game. They're not gods. We're gonna take them down. I guarantee you, we're gonna take them down because I have a good track, like a good record against like all these international teams. I don't think that they're that good. Once you're there, play against them, you understand that the gap isn't that huge. Like tactically speaking, maybe they have some advantage over us, but I was very confident in our map pool and stuff going to Toronto. So I told them, just go there, play our game. You guys will be fine. But when we play against Sentinel, we had some hiccups. Like it was the first game, so we had like some anxiety here and there. The cons were like all over the place as well. So after that loss, we kind of like went through the VOD review real quick and tried to address the issues. And confidence wasn't an issue to all my players back in Toronto except for Lyso, I think. So we somehow try to help him overcome with that because he had like really bad experience with international events. I'm very happy with how he overcame his like all these like fears and stuff and performed well after that. And that was like one of the biggest turning point in Toronto for us because he's online. He's a shooter. He can just kill everyone. He's doing what he needs to do, and the game will just flow easily. So when we were playing against Heretics, yeah, I think my players realized that they weren't shooting that well. Like individually wise, we were like all over them. So the confidence kind of sparked us into like a streak of form, like a run. So against RQ, we didn't really bother like who you are you Jenkin or whatever. We don't care, bro. We're just gonna shoot you, bro. You think you're good? Okay, come at us, man.
I love that.
They had so much confidence in Toronto that was very, very important.
Yeah, and then you guys got revenge against BLG, and then yeah. What do you think that's kind of like part of what you were talking about with how BLG is so structured? Like when you get to that international, like you're able to kind of like get your players locked in to what's going on with BLG's, like fundamentals, and kind of able to get the dismantling because you're more focused, you think?
Yeah, we knew we definitely had the skills to beat them, right? How we lost to them in Beijing was, it wasn't like a stomp. We lost like really, really narrow games, although it was like a 3-0, like swept us in the BO5. But all the scores were very close. We knew we committed like many stupid mistakes. But back in Toronto, our game against them wasn't perfect. It was also very close, but we knew we had what we need to beat them. Like we knew how they play. So it wasn't like, it didn't come out as a surprise when we won them. What came out as a surprise in Toronto, I think it was the RQ match when we played them on Icebox. We had the read that we're going to win a lot of rounds on attack, I think, but we didn't expect it to go so well, because I expected like Roberts and Ewok to do like a lot of counter strats, because they are known for that. Alex always tell me like Roberts is one of the best anti-strat coach, so I took his words for it. So we did extra preparation for RQ, like, so what we're gonna do if they counter us, we're gonna counter their counter and shit like that. So some of those things that we mentioned did happen. And then we managed to like avoid some of the traps that they set. So yeah, it's more like a guessing game before the game even starts. And I'm glad we were on the upper hand at the time. We had the upper hand.
What about the Gen G game? Because like you guys had 2 huge comebacks on 2 different maps. What was going on there? Like that was one of the craziest matches. Like your guys' ability to just come back against, at the time, one of the favorites to maybe win the tournament, was just insane.
I think one of the things that I've noticed during the tournament was Juicy is a slow starter. He doesn't start off. He always start off like so cold. Like he will legit go like 110 or 0-10. But I have confidence in him to bounce back, because with support like Fayde outside the game and stuff, he will pull through. I just needed for him to pull through. And then with how Gen G played, like legit, it was just counter strat to understand their comp. They didn't change much. So against Gen G, it was just counter strat against their Split and Sunset.
Yep.
Yes, it was Split and Sunset. Split, we had a really, really bad start because we were just dying everywhere. But we managed to get a 9-3 curse going, and then when we went to defense side, we kind of knew that we would win, because we did scream Gen G before we go into Toronto. We stormed them on defense, and they were like playing a similar comp, and the weakness, they didn't manage to fix the weakness. So when we playing against them, I think it was a Teho drone weakness. They only had like a single initiator against our cover controller. So what are you gonna do when your drone is dead? You're not gonna do anything. Texture can't run in alone blindly every time. We have like Cypher, Viper, Omen. So how are you going to run in? You have nothing to break the trips. We're just going to put deep trips. Then Texture is not going to run it on his attack. So nothing you can do on Split against us. And on Sunset, it's more like we had good reads on their, I think it was Deadlock. Yep. So when we were doing bot review, we were trying to like abuse this Deadlock pick, like the weakness of it, and then trying to avoid Texture as much as possible. But we made sure that when we run at him, we were going to stomp him with util and make him run and call for support. Because Texture is the type of player that if you swamp at him, he's going to call for support. The players are going to like go behind him and just
help him out.
Yeah, he will just call help. So when that happened, it kind of opens up space in their defense. Yeah, there's a gap that you can abuse. Back in Toronto, that's one of the things we noticed. So their rotation wasn't the best, I think.
Right.
So yeah, I think Lysol had a pretty good attacking as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Spring is very, very quick in that series.
Your point about Juicy was shown on screen just now, Joanne. If you go back to Split on the attack stats, Juicy was down 111. This is exactly what you mentioned, Fayde. And I remember vividly the cameraman loves showing Juicy for this game, for this first half of the map, and it's so good to see that Fayde was able to lift him up in the second half, because we could, like, if anyone want to check it out, like, you can check the VODs and see the progression between the first half of just showing Juicy being super frustrated about his game, and then the second half where he's like starting to gain confidence back. And I think it was props to the team giving him the mental support that he needed to bounce back there. Fayde also highlighted in the post-match interview that he knew exactly what he was doing. You know, like he realized his role that he needed to fulfill here as like a mental support for his team. So I think this is one of the like key case studies of getting players to be a bit more vocal and like exude energy on stage to make sure that your team is like in the right mindset.
You never cry over spilled milk.
Yeah.
First half is done. Go second half and reset.
That's right.
Game is not done. It's not over.
Right.
It's over, right?
That's right. Focus on the next round, round by round, baby.
And Juicy has the experience to bounce back, so we have the confidence in him. This guy is a scream demon. Okay, he does very well in scrims, and I have the expectation of him going into tournament and start cold. So he wasn't tilting at all to me. Just my concern was to make sure that he plays a good second half, because once he get a few kills going, he'll be fine. He'll bounce back.
Yep. Yeah, he's a great player. Really good player. One last question about Toronto that I have, and this might sound kind of dumb. What led up to the iconic Lysor stand up? Like where did it come from? Because now it's all over the place, right? Especially in China. Where did he come up with this? Did he just do it on the fly? Was this something they talked about? Like,
okay,
I'm genuinely curious.
If you see how this guy, through like his like daily life, right? You notice he's just being himself. He's not doing anything special. He's not legit. He walks like a fucking robot when he goes and fetch water. Holy shit! I can't believe what I'm watching. Like this guy walks like he's like marching, you know. And he's like always marching. He's just like, I just think he's not very good with his limbs and stuff, his movement. So he just stood there. And sometimes what he told me was like he stood up but he forgot what he wanted to do, so he just stood there and looked at them.
Oh, what the?
It's like,
it's so
shit, what did I wanted to celebrate again? What pose did I wanted to do? Oh, fuck it, I'll just stand there and look at them. That's what he told me.
He just
Yeah, and I was like, you're giving a very confused aura to the enemy, but I think somehow it's working, so just keep doing it.
Yeah.
I think it worked. So it kind of pissed some of the players off in Toronto.
It did, definitely.
But then when we came back to stage 2, everyone was doing it. So I think it doesn't work anymore. So we didn't really do it much after that.
It's too good.
That's the real reason why Wolves didn't qualify the champs, guys.
Yeah, maybe we need to find a new celebration.
Yeah, new celebration pose, please.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I guess,
well, that's good lore.
Yeah. I guess we can kind of like move on because Toronto, right? There's this picture of all the prep notes from the ending of Toronto.
I am.
Yeah, a lot of work there, but I guess maybe a little bit curious from all of us that the performance in stage 2, kind of, if you're able to shed some light on it, what happened maybe for Wolves in stage 2?
I think we had very little practice hours and days because we were trying to run some other stuff. Like then we couldn't have enough time to practice, and also we lost 2 of our best map, Split and Pro. And I don't like Bind back then. Bind came in, and then the new map came in. We were trying to like figure out how to play Corrode. We wanted to be the first team to play Corrode and do well on it, but it kind of backfired when we played in official games. We couldn't replicate what we did in scrims. So that's not a bigger issue. Like people are curious why we kept picking Corrode, but we were doing really well in Scrim. But it kind of maybe gave us like an illusion that we were good on the map, but actually we were doing the wrong things. But now that I watched Champs, I think we were on the right track. We even wanted to play Waylay early on into Split 2. Like that was when Waylay just got puffed. Like Juicy was legit cracked in scrims, 25 to 30 kills on average on Waylay Bind. But when you went into the tournament, just check the bind stats. It started like 110 again. Then it kind of got me into it got me spiraling. Like, am I playing the wrong comp? Am I overthinking? Am I overcooking? But I think we should have just stick to that comp and we would have been fine on bind. Then we had like map pool issue and we couldn't fix it in time. I think the crucial one is when we played AG. We lost so badly. We tried to recover against XLG and we couldn't. Because we had like a double match week. So we had like 1 day to adjust against XLG, and they kind of have the advantage on us. Like they have good map pool. First of all, they have good map pool, and Hoya is pretty good at counter-stratting. So they kind of knew how we would do, and we didn't have much time to change up our protocols and stuff. So we kind of leaned back towards our old strats and stuff, and we got punished badly for it.
Gotcha.
Well, that's a pretty good summary, I guess. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, before we jump into maybe just some light discussion on Champs Paris, like for Wolves, now that you've gone through the season, you've had your lows in kickoff, your highs in Toronto. What would 2026 look like for you, Fayde, and for the team?
The goal is to qualify all international events next year, definitely. And we want to do really, really good in Shanghai. That's the expectation I set for myself. This year, 2025, I had expectation of us being top 4. That was somewhat achieved in stage 1.
Yeah.
But I want us to be consistent next year. So that's the goal. The roster that we're going to build is going to be consistent. The players that we're going to get, we went through a lot of like names, and I think we have found the right guys for the next year.
Ooh,
Nice.
I see.
Sounds very
That's what I
confident.
like to hear.
Any spoilers?
Just came out with that.
Just trying my luck. Just trying my luck for the viewers.
Small
What can I
hints.
say?
Small hints.
Yeah, what
Small
can you
hints.
say?
My import is from NA.
Oh,
Oh, baby!
Oh,
Ding,
yo.
chat.
But he's a new player. He's a new player.
Okay.
That's really
I was
interesting.
gonna
Still,
say,
I think we found the right place for it.
if you won the
Okay.
second sweepstakes, I was gonna be.
So some people comment of our new import being the guy that we're trialing with was from Canada. So people were saying like, was it tense? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Wolves Tens. You heard it here first,
Yeah,
guys.
tense, come over, man. I need you.
Yeah.
You guys,
Yeah.
do you guys know like when your roster will be finalized? Can like fans look forward to a general idea of when you might be ready?
Announcement.
I think the earliest you guys can see this roster is next month. We have an off-season event in Korea, I think.
Okay.
Or are you
It's
guys?
like early
You guys are going to
November.
Gwangju?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
that's the event.
Nice.
I think there's like a few Korean teams and one more invites. I can't review who the invite is at the still. I think that's where we will debut our roster for next year.
No,
But I'm still waiting to finalize like one more player. We're making like a pretty big change.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Sounds promising. Very nice.
Nice.
Cool. Good luck,
All right.
man. I really
you,
hope
thank
we're going to see more of Wolves in the
Yeah,
international stage.
I'm very excited for next year already.
Yeah.
We're pulling for you, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right. So let's maybe wrap this podcast up by lightly discussing some results and some of the future plans for VCT CN specifically, because that's where you're from, Fayde. Champs Paris, what did you think about the results, Fayde? Maybe if you could give us a rundown of what you thought about it.
Disappointing, I guess. There's no other way to put it. Everyone knows it. It's kind of unacceptable, like how the teams perform. But there were positive signs. Like I really wanted EDG to win. Same goes to BLG, but I don't know. I was in Japan when I watched that game. I was like, oh no, how are they gonna come back from this? I don't think they can come back from this. When they lost the first few games, I'm like, it's over. But I also XLG as well, because Hoya is pretty experienced. I was happy when they beat Sentinel, but that's not enough, I guess, for a region like us, because everyone had high expectation when EDG got champion in last year, and they did well in Bangkok, and us doing well in Toronto. And people were expecting like one of the teams to break out to playoffs as well. I think especially DRG. I think the fans call it the best representative this year. Like they think this is the most hopeful year before the event even started, and the results said otherwise. So it was pretty disappointing for the entire region. That's why I mentioned that next year we must really do well, because we want the like revenge. Like this result is unacceptable. So next year in our home ground, we will make a run for it.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Especially
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, just looking back on it, like EDG actually ended up in like the group of death. Like that was actually the hardest group. So like that was kind of unfortunate when you think back to it. But yeah, it was not what you wanted to see.
Yeah.
That's why when I watched the first game, it was very close. They had good signs, like they were adjusting towards the right direction. Although Kang was playing like Yoru, but his Yoru improved, kind of improved. I felt, but of course they could have went another way. But if the team decided to play this comp, it wasn't the players' play issue anymore. I think overall they just didn't play well together as a team. Not good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was really, really good.
Yes.
I mean,
kind of good.
Kind of good. Kind of good. They're okay.
Kind of good.
But still, with the result and like the fact that it is what it is, it always hard to give a full answer for the whole thing. But what do you think China as a region needs in order to be more competitive? I think because we had a tweet that we kind of like linked in the little sheet that we had. Elevated asked you a question and you kind of answered briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are we able to expand on that?
I think what I mentioned was this region is like they're a follower. I felt like they are a follower. They always wait for other regions to find the answer to the meta. Why not just create a meta and just stick through it? Like what EDG did in Champs last year was because they ran a double initiator comp, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they did so well because they weren't following other teams. Like, why would you follow other teams? Just cook your own comp, stick through it. You'll be fine. Like, just trust your comp. Stop trying to copy what others do. I think this region tries to copy too much from EU, NA and stuff. Mm-hmm. If you copy, you will never understand the essence behind the comp. Try to make your own comp and you do great. You might even do better than what you're doing right now.
Oh.
Never be a follower.
Yep.
This feels like a problem of Southeast Asia in the past, don't you think, Fayde? Like when you were coaching in Southeast Asia, like we were still kind of
Southeast Asia.
Yeah, like a similar problem
because you always
behind the meta. Correct. Do you think like this is the same kind of problem, or with your experience with coaching Southeast Asian teams and just being in the scene in general, like what do you think was able to push us out of that, and what can China kind of pick up from that process that we went through already before?
So far, all the best performing teams from China has been teams that were innovative. Like even Trace last year, they did well with their bind double sentinel and stuff. Like teams like this, you always have an advantage over their competitors. So we really need more teams that does stuff like this.
I see.
And I hope next year we are the one that decide the meta instead of other regions. So we have the advantage. We have the head start over everyone else.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
So does that lead us into what will be the meta for next year?
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, yeah, we did mention this at the start, huh? Like, what do you think? What do you think of this big ass patch that just dropped a couple days ago, and it kicked up a storm everywhere in the world, understandably, but. From a head coach perspective, for one of the best performing teams last year, what's up?
I think it's a step in the right direction for competitive play, but I think for rank it's very boring. I think for rank it's bad because it's so boring. Like all your spells are on cooldown, might as well just play CS, right?
Yes.
But from this standpoint, right, I think it's healthy for the game. It's good for the long run. Like. We're just going to get more agents and stuff. Eventually, we're going to be swarmed with UT. We're already swarmed with UT right now. What they're doing right now is to reduce the amount that teams execute into site and rain all UTs all over the site, right? That's going to be gone. I think that's going to be gone because if you're just going to do that, you're not going to be able to execute anymore. So they want to thin down the amount of UT that people used to execute onto site. So I think that's the right step in the direction.
Okay.
But I hope they somewhat. I think 60 seconds is a bit long for some of the initiators, but I think people will get used to it. People always whine when things change. It's very normal, I feel.
It's normal. You're right.
If you have like experience with mobile games like Dota or whatever, bro, their game changes like every 2 years.
And we're not talking like small changes, right? We're talking like
get fucked up. They have like legit crazy changes, man. If you have like experience like that, you would be fine with accepting changes like this, I guess. 2 years down the road, when you look back at this change, it's gonna be like meh.
Yeah.
Overreaction. People always overreact when things come out.
Yeah.
But you think it's just the initiators that got hit a little bit too harshly? You don't think like the Vise, Cypher, perhaps even Yoru, maybe all those are like is actually healthy?
I mean, Yoru nerf wasn't that bad, right? It's just you couldn't out any cast U2 anymore in your out, but that encourages more combos with your other teammates, right? That's what Riot wants instead of like one single agent doing all the work. Like back then, Yoru can just out and kill anyone on their own, right? Now that you need help from other people, it's more balanced, I feel. It's still gonna be picked. Yoru is still gonna be picked because of his kit. This TPing bullshit is too much. Just make it one TP. Holy shit. That is too TP. Now that we have Veto as well, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be around.
Dude,
you're fine, bro. You're gonna hear like 10 times the TP sound and probably still fake.
It's gonna be so much TP. I mean, think about Omen, Yoru, Veto. Freaking
but I think
Chamber, I guess.
This change is healthy for the competitive scene. We're gonna see a lot of like fresh strategies and stuff. Oh, Veto is pretty strong. We've tried it this week. Pretty strong. It's in good spot. I think it's not OP. Some maps is really, really good. Some maps is really, really bad. Yeah, it's not the agent where you can like Teho, you can just pick across all 7 maps.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing about Veto, if I can like share a thought, is it's a bit of it's so interesting how you can play 2 very different styles when you're defending and when you're attacking, right? Defending, obviously, you're going to be an anchor. If you see enemy have many ults, you can be that true anchor without being affected by those abilities. And when you're attacking, you can be an entry, technically speaking, if you are equipped with your ult, right? So the player designated to play the Veto agent is gonna have to be a bit of a flex. They're gonna have so much fun. I can see Forsaken
yesterday.
Sure.
This guy was just standing in the Brim ulti, Teho ulti, all the blinds, he's not even dodging anything, and he killed 4 of them. I'm like, holy shit. That's amazing. What have Riot done?
His idea also got to be.
His idea was it to put Chamber and Reyna in the same agent. And players like Forsaken that get so many kills, bro, he's gonna pop ulti every 2-3 rounds, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, Meteor.
Exactly.
Meteor's the player.
So Meteor, yes. Oh my
He's
god.
gonna crush.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. Yeah. All right. I guess final thing for China, you do have some plans, very exciting plans next year for the circuit. We heard that China is going to host a 5 city roadshow. Are you excited about this, Fayde, or are you like dreading? Ah, man, I have to travel here. I have to travel there. Like,
I'm excited to travel.
Okay.
But I'm scared of what's to come. Like, I'm worried about the practice environment and stuff. I don't know how we're gonna do it properly because right now we're just still boot camping. I'm not sure if we're gonna like still boot camp and then travel at the end of the week to different city or whatever. Because I think 5 city, right?
Cities,
I think it's gonna probably gonna involve group stage. So I think there's gonna be a lot of traveling.
I see. Yeah, I know for sure you're not, like, from a team practice perspective, you are not looking forward to that. Like, you'd rather stay in one place and just focus on actual practice, right?
I think what they're trying to do, like F1, it can work, but our season is so tight. Like, we don't have enough time to do like, all the traveling. Like, you want to spend time cooking stuff, fixing your problems in the server, and not spend, like, once you travel, it's going to cost you like 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, right.
100%. Even if it's just a couple hours, like by airplane, it costs you so much time.
Yeah, but I guess for us in VCT CN, it's okay because whatever applies to me applies to other team too, right? So we're gonna have the same problem. So it just kind of depends like who will deal with it better when it happens. Because we still don't know the exact details of how they're gonna run it.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine like if Pacific decides to do this. One, there are so many countries that will probably
visa.
be on the
Yeah. Instantly.
visa nightmare is gonna
Hey,
be
bro, gonna cry, bro.
insane.
Batman gonna be on a bench, bro.
Yeah, dude. Bruh. Yeah,
You're
so
literally
I mean, good for China. I think this is a fun way.
I mean,
Yeah, like it's doable in China
Sure.
Yep.
because the country is so big, right? You have so many
Yeah.
cities, and next year, I think
Yes.
the main reason behind this is they want to promote Valorant in China for champs.
Mm.
Yes,
Well,
for sure. So it's just kind of like a
and
build.
I think this is a test bed for
Pacific, maybe?
for every region.
If it works,
I
right,
have a
it's
feeling.
gonna be very huge for Valorant.
Yeah,
Idealistically, yeah.
I mean,
Just
we
think about America, right?
we get glimpses
Think about
of it.
like
America is I think still pretty manageable.
in Europe.
Europe as
Europe.
well, right?
Pacific's actually
But
the hardest.
Pacific, man, Pacific is like hard. Like we got a glimpse of it with Japan, and you saw how uncertain it was for some of the teams with
Literally
all the
last
rumors
minute.
flying around,
It's
like
not-
players not getting.
I'm gonna
visas in
like
Tokyo.
contrast that. I mean, if you think about the fact that if you
Yeah.
actually could pull it off, the how crazy it was in
Yeah.
Japan with like the fans and everything.
Oh,
If we can take that
yes,
around to
yes,
like
yes,
dude,
yes, yes.
Manila, freaking
Bangkok,
Indonesia,
Indonesia, Malaysia.
Let me see.
Dude, I feel bad for Malaysia.
We should
Malaysia
come
Malaysia have 9 stadiums.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
If
Yes,
they actually could.
we hosted Dota majors before.
I
Yes.
love this city, dude. I actually really like this city a lot. I've
It
been
is-
here
it is
every year for the last couple of years, and I
Yeah.
really like it.
Honestly speaking, I think Malaysia is a good country to host esports events like Valorant because one, the cost to support and all is cheap. We have good food.
Yeah,
Location wise,
Great
it's
food.
really nice as well. And visa,
definitely.
you won't have visa problem coming to Malaysia.
Yes.
I mean, that locks.
I'm from
all day,
Singapore,
man.
and I'm gonna like agree with Hoc here. Just 'cause if you come to Singapore, shit's gonna be expensive. So-
Nah, dude. Nah.
What do you
It's
mean?
not.
Back? What do you mean?
Come on.
I think it's good to move to a cheaper country because I think Korea is still somewhat expensive for org to sustain. But if
It
you
is.
move to like a Southeast Asia country like Thailand, Malaysia, you're gonna have so much time, like so much more fun to operate in other stuff.
You're gonna need to spend more resources to control the orcs and tell them like you don't do the shady shit. Don't get drunk every night. You still need to play.
Hey, your players,
I,
man. Play your
dude,
players.
I have so
Fair,
many
fair.
stories that I just
I don't know what
keep
you're
to
talking
myself.
about.
Keep to myself.
Yeah. Keep it to yourself. Let's keep this.
I will never throw anybody under the bus, but yeah.
Yes, that's not. Giovanni's like
Yeah,
sweating
Giovanni's
listening to us talking about this. Okay, cool. Yeah. Any last things that we want to talk about before we wrap up, boys?
I don't know. Asia Pro Hub?
I think we kind of nailed most stuff. I think eventually we got to have a champs like real sit down, but that's another hour of conversation minimum. So
Yeah. Yeah. Today's all
it's all about Fayde today.
Yeah, China.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for
course.
coming, man.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. Like, it's
It's
really
always
good
fun
to
to
hear.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. We got a yapper here, so
Yeah, let's yap more in the
Oh,
future.
yapper.
let's see yap.
Yeah, you
Let's
can
get
bring
it.
Alex on. I'll yap with him.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I think
Yeah,
that could
yeah,
be good. Like we haven't really done like a multiple guest kind of segment yet, right? Like
What if we get like
imagine
one
so-
coach from each region and we just
Yeah.
let them?
I think we should.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
like what, 15 people?
Yeah.
And
It's never been done before. We could be the first.
It's true.
that is
We could,
true.
Possible.
Maybe a
Yeah.
version of it.
It'd be fun.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. I think that's it. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to follow Fayde and Wolves and watch for their journey in 2026. Of course, subscribe and like this podcast and list down anything that you want to hear from us more in the future in the comments. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.